what's stranger, the fact that the mayor of Boston is Johnny Sack, or the fact that Johnny is actually starting to look a little bit like Ginny now? Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that Patriots Day is no perfect movie. So Patriots Day is a fictional portrayal of the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings. The investigation led by Boston Commissioner Ed Davis, played by John Goodman, FBI agent Richard Delorier, played by Kevin Bacon, Watertown Sergeant Jeff Pugliese, or something like that, I apologize, played by J.K. Simmons, the Tsarnaev brothers, played by Alex Wolff and Fimo Melikides, who are attempting to evade the police manhunt, and several victims and survivors, Dun Meng, Jessica Kinsey, Sean Collier, and Patrick Downs, who are played by Jimmy O. Yang, Rachel Brosnahan, Jake Picking, and Christopher O'Shea. And yes, Mark Wahlberg does play a fictional character who's meant to represent several members of Boston PD who were involved in the investigation. Peter Berg's direction feels very unique from most biopics by showing the perspective and point of view of the city and people who unfortunately experienced these events. He cleverly builds suspense before the bombings by mixing standard coverage with POV shots of the marathon runners and CCTV footage to keep the audience's attention and have them looking for the brothers throughout the entire scene. And it makes the bombings feel a lot more shocking and impactful when they actually do happen. And whenever the brothers enter a building that do have security cameras, the scene cuts to the footage of those cameras in order to give the bombers a much more threatening presence. And whenever there are moments of action, the handheld camera work and fast editing give each of these scenes a sense of urgency without relying on shaky cam. I must make this clear as day. The reason we care for all of these real-life people who are being portrayed by actors, even when we can guess most of the outcomes for them, is because we get to see all of these people in their daily lives in brief but memorable and identifiable scenarios that make these performances by the incredibly talented ensemble cast feel a lot more real and humanized. When Simmons asks his coffee shop server how her school classes are going, or when one of the victims is singing along to Zac Brown with his roommates, the dialogue is written to sound like a normal conversation, and the actors deliver their lines in a genuine fashion. Even the Tsarnaev brothers, who are still portrayed as being cruel, despicable sons of bitches, as they probably were, the film doesn't deny the fact that they had people who legitimately loved them, like their wives or children. And if the movie denied these facts, it would have been cheap and cowardly. Now, a lot of people have complained about the fact that Mark Wahlberg plays what is essentially a combination of several real people as opposed to portraying all of these characters individually, especially since he is the main observer of the story. And I can understand why people would be offended by this, but it never bothered me because, for starters, whether it be a movie, a miniseries, or a short-form TV show, I feel like there would be too many individuals that you would have to portray in order to be that authentic. I don't know the exact facts, but I can only assume. And the other reason is the things this character has to endure. Helping dozens of injured civilians at once, interviewing them on what they saw, searching an entire town that is terrified for their lives, and keeping a straight face while doing all of that is an extremely difficult thing to do. And Wahlberg's performance, especially when he confides in his wife, shows what just one character feeling what every officer in Boston must have been feeling at that exact same time. Terrified, scared, willing to help in any way they can, while also being afraid to see more bloodshed. And Wahlberg's performance captures all of that. As for minor problems, there are several actors throughout the film who give really exaggerated Boston accents that felt forced, especially since half the cast doesn't even try to do an accent. Hell, Wahlberg's from Boston, he doesn't even have one. Plus, there are moments during the shootout that is really naturalistic, really gritty, and then there are these weird moments where, like, neighborhood residents open their doors, they start commentating on what's going on. One of them even throws a sledgehammer for a cop to use, and if that actually happened, that's really sad, but if not, it felt really desperate and it took me out of the moment for a second. But aside from that, Patriots Day has naturalistic acting, gut-wrenching suspense, Peter Berg's fantastic direction, a terrific score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, by the way, and it develops the victims and survivors with respect. And for that reason, I'm going to give Patriots Day a 4.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.